Yo,
Saw, dude.
I am not as hungover as I thought I'd be today.
Yeah, when you told me you were to be shotgun beers at a country fest, I was like, this episode is going to be a shit episode, aka the best episode.
Not just country, it was Darius Rucker, Hootie himself playing.
You went to a Darius Rucker concert?
Oh, yeah.
Did he play Beers and Sunshine?
He played everything. He played all their Hootie hits. Hootie, I think, is actually getting back together. You know Hootie and the Blowfish, right?
Yeah,
he's the front man.
I want to be with you.
Dude, when he played Only Want to Be With You, everyone was just like, "Get down, take it up in blue."
Shotgun and beers.
Amazing. Yeah. Everyone just instantly was shotgunning beers.
How do you not?
I was blown away by how many beers people were drinking at this. Like, I don't even know how they kept up. It was getting ridiculous where people were literally just sitting down and drinking 20 tall boys, like just had 20 tall boys. And I'm like, wow, these people fucking drink. These are like country folk from like Bumblefuck, Illinois. And they were just boozing.
Where was the concert?
So it used to be in like the River West area, and it was a lot smaller of a venue. It was like by the train tracks. It was kind of weird. Now they moved it to the United Center parking lot, and they probably added, they made it a lot bigger, but they have been selling a lot more tickets. There had to be, I want to say like 20,000 people there. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, those 20,000 people are like, this is the first time I've been out of my house in a year and a half. Yeah. And they're just like, here's 20 tall boys. Oh, right to the face.
Yeah, with all the COVID stuff, it wasn't like, yo, let's just wean into the festivals, just start smaller groups, get bigger. No, this was just like, boom, just people just fucking squished together for a country concert, breathing on each other. Whatever. They did
Darius Rucker.
They did. I've been to like 3 events, and like I went to stand-up show. Like I've been out to like events where they actually have tickets and stuff. So I was curious as to how like the COVID protocols would be. Surprisingly, even for this country concert, they were really like strict on the whole, either you have a vaccination or a rapid test. You had to download this Clear app. You had to do all this shit. And it held up lines to get into this festival. Probably based on the normal, it was an extra 30 minutes to get in because everyone had to show this app, do all that stuff. But overall, I mean, it's a great time. I'm going today.
So it's a multi-day fest?
Yeah, it's started on Thursday. I think it goes till Sunday.
Who's headlining tonight?
Buying drinks for everybody to party. Dierks Bentley.
Ooh, Dierks.
Drunk on a plane.
Yeah, damn, dude. Okay, that sounds good. Actually, a really dope concert to go to.
This will attract probably the biggest female audience, which is, I mean, it's already a huge festival, and I feel like everyone is going to go to Dierks tonight because he's probably the biggest headliner of the whole weekend.
Yeah, plus it's Saturday.
Yeah,
I like how they did like the biggest headline on Saturday. I feel like a lot of concerts, they like to save theirs for either like Friday or Sunday to get people to come back on Sunday to get those 3-day passes. But yeah. So who's headlining Sunday? What's this concert called again?
Windy City Smokeout.
Ooh.
It's a really cool festival because they bring in a shit ton of barbecue food from all over the country.
I was gonna say it would have to smoke out. You got to be grilling all day, aka smoking meats all day.
Like my favorite barbecue place of all time is in Austin. It's called Salt Lick, and they have a booth there, and you can get Salt Lick barbecue. It's amazing.
Ooh, damn.
Bands. Let's see. I actually don't know who's headlining. So headliner on Thursday was Brett Eldridge, big.
Okay.
Darius was last night. Dierks is today, and then John Party. I'm not familiar with that guy, but he is headlining Sunday.
I think he's a California dude.
Yeah.
Yep. Is literally they have his album is California Sunrise. So
yeah, the guy that was playing before Darius, I think it's this Morgan Evans guy. I was like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Like, sounded like a basic American country artist. And then when he started talking, he's just like, oh, there's shrimp on a bobby. And I'm just like, holy shit, this guy's Australian. What the fuck?
Just
kind of weird.
Yeah, you just like nailed the American classic country singer.
Yeah. It was kind of weird.
Crazy.
Instead of like talking about pickup trucks, he was talking about like kangaroos, though. I'm just like, all right, something's going on with this guy.
Yeah, or he just like really loves Australia.
He's like, I'm riding on the back of a kangaroo. I'm just like, all right, dude.
Not familiar with the reference.
Yeah. Like, oh, he's Australian. I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. Everything checks out.
What are you doing this weekend?
Headed up to the mountains. Got the fam in town. So we're going to be doing some mountain activities, classic Colorado things to do. Nice. And then, shout out to Drago. He is helping me find a house. Hopefully we'll have one soon. I have to have one before October. So tight window. But saw him yesterday for the first time in 10 years. He's the man. Nice. Still, obviously.
Dude, real estate in Colorado is still. I remember when Drago, for our listeners, Drago was in our fraternity, and no, his name isn't really Drago, but he looks exactly like Drago from Rocky movies. But yeah, the real estate market, 8 years when I was talking to him, he's like, come out here, dude, and be a real estate agent. I'm like, I don't know. It's so hot right now. Like, I don't know if it's going to keep up and stuff. And holy fuck, was I wrong? It's just been.
It's unbelievable because most houses say like he was saying like most of the country, it'll take like 6 months kind of to sell your house on average. And it is a weekend. If a weekend goes through in Colorado, that shit is sold. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it slowed down a bit. So now it's like houses will probably last on there for like 7 days. It's like, good Lord, that's insane. And everyone's overbidding what the asking prices for. So fun market to be in.
There's the overall, I mean, in the US, the real estate market is just, there's not enough inventory. There's not enough people willing to sell their homes because you have people stuck at a standstill that would want to sell their home, but they have nowhere to go. What are they going to do? Sell their home for an extra, $100K that they would get, they would have got 2 years ago, but then they also have to now buy a home at an increase. So it's kind of the inventory isn't there. People are, it's hard for people to find housing right now. And yes, they're getting sold within the first day of being on the market. It is crazy.
Yeah, but should be fun to get all that shit taken care of. So we got some movie trailers this week.
We have a lot of movie trailers.
A freaking ton.
Let's talk about the first one. Witcher 2 just dropped their first teaser trailer or full trailer. Actually, it was like a minute and a half. So this was announced to return December 17th of this year. The reveal was actually made last Friday. I guess they did a WitcherCon, and yes, it is what you think it is. It's an online streaming event for everything Witcher related. I didn't even know this shit was happening, but yeah, they released this teaser trailer. We see that Yennefer is returning. And it's been 2 years since we've got that first season. Are you looking forward to this at all? Did you finish the first season?
Yeah, I felt like I really enjoyed the first season. And then I know it was kind of a bit of a slower paced show. But I was always looking forward to the next season. It just took, I guess it just took a long time to make the second season, which hopefully that time it pays off for some good quality. But I see him fighting a lot of trees and like air. I don't see him. I mean, maybe that's good. Maybe they're saving all the actual action for the show itself. But overall, Henry Cavill, how do you not look forward to something like this?
Yeah, and it seems like he's more so fighting off like his demonic, evil self. I don't know what you call it, his Witcher self, where he actually like changes and his eyes go black. Like it looks like he's up in a lot of the scenes where he's fighting. So I'm definitely into that.
Hell yeah. But yeah, for some reason I'm rewatching this trailer right now. You'd only see him fighting air and trees. And I guess if he's fighting himself, if he's fighting his own demons, that's pretty interesting too. I love about that psycho.
That's fine with me. I don't care if it's an actual person he's fighting or if it could just be air. As long as Henry Cavill's just holding a fucking sword with his jacked ass Jumbotron arms, I'm in for it.
Absolutely. Same. 1,000.
1,000. What 1,000% I'm also in for is this fucking Marvel What If trailer that we got. Holy shit. This looks awesome.
Yeah, no, there are some interesting combinations of characters. And so explain the premise of the show if you can.
Yeah, so essentially it just explores an alternate version of big moments that happen in Marvel's history. Um, I believe this is going to be 10 episodes long. It's going to premiere on Disney Plus August 11th.
That's coming
And
up. Damn.
yeah, episodes are going to be happening every Wednesday too, which is I, I do not mind that. I know there's people that were spoiled with, hey, give us the first 3 episodes, give us the first half of the season. I
Yeah.
kind of actually like waking up every week and knowing like, hey, I'm getting a Loki episode this morning, and I like
Same.
start my day off a little bit early, before I get to work and actually watch the episode, eat breakfast. It's kind of nice doing that shit.
I agree. I do the same thing with Ashley. She comes over every Wednesday and we'll be like, oh, nice Loki day today. Loki
Yeah.
and Dave. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
So in a little bit we'll be getting this What If Wednesdays. And I'm psyched for a new animated show to watch. I like live action, but there's times where I'm like, I kind of just want to just watch a cartoon, really like type anime show.
And this is the same animation style as like those Star Wars animation shows that they've had recently, like kind of like the Bad Batch, which I like, and they do a great job. Obviously, the artistic side of it is very on point. But is there anything in this trailer specifically that kind of stood out to you?
Well, let's talk about who we see a little bit. We see Peggy Carter, and she is voiced by Haley Atwell. I don't know if was that the actual actress that played in the live action Captain America movies. I don't remember. But she will be the super soldier that gets the serum, all that good stuff.
And so she's with Doctor Strange, and I imagine Doctor Strange and her will probably be the first episode.
I don't know if we do get like those duos. Like, yes, you saw Chadwick Boseman is playing T'Challa, but T'Challa is in this universe. He's Star-Lord, and Yondu picks him up, kind of like how we had with Peter Quill in the original. But yeah, we do have the combo of Killmonger saving Tony Stark from the bomb in the Middle East before the first Iron Man movie. And I kind of like this. I like the fact that it seems like they're pulling these what if scenarios from the movies. I didn't know if they were going to like take, because this was originally a comic book run. Like these were comic books they used to always release what if Marvel scenarios. And I thought they were going to just start pulling stories from the actual comics that they were doing what if runs for. But it seems like they're actually going to stick to the MCU, to the movies that they release, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, Dan, they have everybody that you want playing the characters or doing the actual voices. Haley Atwell is Peggy Carter in the show. They have Tom Hiddleston. They've got Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, even though it didn't sound like him when I first heard him in the trailer. Michael B. Jordan is playing Killmonger. And I like how they have that Tony Stark. If he were to meet Tony Stark at the very beginning of Tony Stark before he was Iron Man, he would be like, he saved his life. He's like probably his boy at that point. And I would love to see that relationship, because when we saw Black Panther, I was like, damn, I wanted to see more Michael B. Jordan because he was such a cool character. And this allows me to do that. So we had Killmonger and Tony Stark. We have Captain Carter and Doctor Strange. She's like British Captain America. She even has like the British shield, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy are the ones that do the fight for New York for the first Avengers. So that seems like that. I'd love to see how they kind of intersect those universes, or how they have it just like the what if scenarios. And then the zombie Avengers kind of peeked out at me too. I saw zombie Iron Man, zombie Captain America. Was there a comic book run of that as well?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Robert Kirkman wrote that. So the guy from Walking Dead that created Walking Dead for Marvel. And I think the first time they did Marvel Zombies was like in 2016. So it wasn't that long ago, but yes, It has been a comic book run. So I am happy that they're actually pulling from some of the comic book stuff as well.
Yeah. Hell
this looks freaking awesome. Is this going to be the best Disney Plus show to date? Loki is fine right now. It's getting better.
I love Loki. I think Loki's great.
I didn't even finish Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Wasn't that what it was called? Yeah.
Yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was fine. Bucky held me through that entire show. I felt I loved his character. But let's see. I love Loki right now. Loki's fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens at the very end of this, because I think this is going to unleash so many theories and stuff for the conclusion of this. But What If was the series I was looking forward to most from when they first kind of announced this lineup of Phase 4.
Was there any character in this trailer that you're hoping more from, or you hoping to see that you didn't get to see?
After seeing like Black Widow, I would have loved to see some Red Guardian in here. I just love his character so much. We'll get into it later, obviously, but it would have been cool to see like a Red Guardian versus Captain America type thing. I'm here for it.
I can't remember. Did we get a look at the Hulk at all? Was the Hulk in this trailer? I don't think so.
He was barely. It like flashed his face. That was about it. But Ruffalo is in this movie or show.
Yeah. No, this looks awesome. It's coming out August 11th. Episodes happening every Wednesday. All right, let's go to the next trailer.
Korg's in it too, by the way.
Who is?
Korg.
Oh, and we got what's Howard the Duck in it?
Yeah.
Which is, I know Smithers is gonna love that, whatever they do with that character. He loves that character.
Yeah, he does. He's obsessed with that character.
All right, Disney and Encanto just released their first trailer for that new movie that's coming out from Disney Studios. This is the latest movie that we've gotten from Disney Studios. The last one was Raya and the Dragon or whatever it was called.
Right.
This isn't Pixar. This is like the Frozen Disney stuff.
What about what was Luca?
Luca was Pixar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is not Pixar Studios. This is Disney Studios. It's going to be set in rural Colombia. The tale follows the madrigals who live in an enchanted place where every child gets an extraordinary power, or an encanto, which is the title of the movie. But there's one person who is this 15-year-old Mirabelle, who's the odd one out, who struggles to find her place in her family. I guess doesn't get her powers yet, maybe, or at all. That's yet to be seen. And this is going to be hitting theaters November 24th. So we got a little bit of a ways to go. I think this looks cool. I mean, great scenery, Brick.
Colors
might not
are
be Italy, but Colombia is a beautiful place. I have not been there. I want to go there.
It does look beautiful, honestly. And yeah, the colors are on point. I mean, everything is popping on every inch of the screen, which is great. And yeah, no, that sounds like a great premise of a movie. And it's just a classic trope, the oddball out, like up and away from Disney, where the kid doesn't get his powers until he's like 16 or 18, or you know how it goes. So she'll find her way and figure out what her gift is, and it's just a classic Disney tale. But the colors are on point, and literally the scenery and everything makes me want to see this more. And superpowers, can't go wrong.
I wonder if Mirabelle's mom is going to be drinking decaffeinated Colombian coffee crystals.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen that Chris Farley?
No, I haven't.
SNL take? God damn it, dude. All right. We're moving on.
Peace.
All right. Sweet Girl is a new Netflix movie that's going to be starring Jason Momoa.
Your boy.
The guy directing it, I don't know his name, but I know he produced a few episodes of Frontier, which was a long-standing series that Jason Momoa was doing. I don't remember what TV network it was on. It was something random. But I think he did like 3 seasons of the show where he was like some brutal, it was set in like the 1800s or some shit, and he was just killing a bunch of settlers. And it was Apple TV.
It's like I think that was only 1 season too, by the way. And
of Frontier?
Oh, Frontier.
No, you're thinking Braven. Oh, C.
Okay. C was 2 seasons, and that was like someone is born, everyone's blind in the show, and then one person like has the ability to see, and then everyone tries to kill him or something like that. I didn't see it, but I thought that was what you were talking about.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, this looks fine, I guess. It's not like we've never seen something like this before. A devastated husband vows to bring justice to the people responsible for killing his wife. And now he is out there to protect the one and only family member he has left, his daughter. This is going to be released August 20th. Yeah, this is a formula that's been done before in movies.
Yeah.
But Jason Momoa killing a bunch of people, I guess I'm in for it.
I'm here for it. My only thing is, how good is the soundtrack going to be? How good are the action set pieces going to be? The storyline is insert generic reason to kill a bunch of people. My wife's
I
dead.
I have a feeling this is definitely going to be a save it. Even just looking at the trailer, I kind of already know how this movie is going to go. It's going to have probably a really boring first act, pick up a little bit in the second, and then third, it's just going to be Jason Momoa slaughtering everyone.
I think, yeah, absolutely. It should be the whole thing. I think there's going to be a lot of killing, but they want to introduce like that family dynamic, and I'm fine. I'm not. I don't have high expectations for it, but I won't not watch it. I'm sure we'll watch it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was Sweet Girl. Stay tuned for that. That's coming out pretty soon. Next one up is one that I wasn't initially that interested in, but after watching this trailer, I'm like, this actually looks like it could be pretty good. It's called No Man of God. It's based on the complicated relationship that formed between the FBI analyst Bill Hagmaier and serial killer Bundy during Bundy's final years. And it looks like it gets into like his final weeks before he was executed on death row. One person I haven't seen in a while is Elijah Wood. He's going to be playing that FBI analyst. This is from the producer of Mandy. So if Smithers was here, he would get all his butthole would clench for that right there. Yeah. That Mandy was a great movie. I don't really see how this will be going down the Mandy path. It doesn't seem like it will. It seems pretty intense from just a dialogue perspective. We're not going to get a lot of action. It's just going to be conversations with Bundy. And we've seen this in Netflix documentaries. We've seen this with Zac Efron just had a movie about Bundy, but that was more so how Bundy was caught, which was interesting to see as well.
This one's specifically regarding his last 13 hours as like he's trying to expand his time alive by confessing to this guy. The only guy he's going to talk to is this one person, Elijah Wood. That's my problem, I guess, is like this story's been done 1,000 times, like you just said. 2 years ago, recently, everything like kind of came out about it again, and it's like I feel like you missed the wave. Maybe wait 10 years and come out with a movie like this because we don't need to hear about more about Ted Bundy. I mean, he is an interesting character to say the least, but like I do see just the dialogue portion of it. They didn't show any sort of, flashbacks to him hiding the body or something, anything like that would kind of give it that at least intense, like horror vibe to it. It's definitely just going to be a dialogue thing for me. So I don't know. Looked fine.
I kind of agree with you. I know, yes, they did a lot of Bundy stuff recently, but it's weird to say, but there's a big niche for these kind of movies and series.
Oh yeah,
especially that Netflix does. People love crime shows. They love like learning about serial killers, what was going through their minds, all that kind of stuff. I mean, so these are always going to get watched. So I can see why they keep putting these out. I'm kind of excited because when I saw Luke Kirby, the guy playing Bundy, I'm like, holy fuck. Like if you remember watching the documentary on Bundy, the Bundy tapes, he looks just like him. He looks more like him than Efron looked when he played him. And I'm like, this could be pretty good. But yeah, it's going to show us that relationship. It's going to probably show the initial interactions years before he was executed. And then it's just going to show us the side of Bundy where he's just a compulsive liar. Everything he says is, he puts his own twist on it. There's never a time where you really think he's telling the truth until his final days where he's like, yeah, I killed 30 if that's what you want to hear. And still he's very vague with everything he was telling the FBI during that time.
Yeah, he's a very charismatic character. And he's like, yeah, 30 is a nice round number. Like, how can you believe anything this guy says? And it's like he is on a timeline here because he's trying to say whatever he can to stay alive at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So
what I don't like though, when you think about it, is just like the narcissistic side of Bundy, just him loving him, like his story and how he just, was holding on to like his secrets before telling people because he knew people were just infatuated with like what he did and like all the people he killed.
Yeah.
Knowing that there's all these shows and movies that are getting put out for this guy, it's he's in his grave right now in fucking hell, just like, yeah, this is what I wanted. Like people to want to learn more and more about me. But I don't know, maybe the movie's not going to go like that. Maybe it's going to focus more on the FBI analyst. We'll see.
If they do, I wouldn't even be interested in hearing about the FBI analyst, the guy that would rather hear the story of Ted Bundy again portrayed through this different lens. But dude, I don't need it.
Have it be Elijah Wood just as this FBI analyst wearing Birkenstocks with just hairy ass feet. That's what I want to see.
Oh yeah,
just give us those Frodo
Bilbo Baggins. Oh yeah, I would say call him Bilbo Baggins for some reason.
Bilbo Baggins. Young Baggins. All right. Do you hear Nolan screaming?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. Addams Family 2 just put out a trailer. Cool. I didn't see the first one. They actually have a pretty good voice cast.
They do. Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Chloe Grace Moretz, Nick Kroll.
Charlize.
Is it Charlize?
No, it's Charlize.
Okay. Javon Wanna Walton, I don't know who that is, but Snoop Dogg, Bette Midler, Bill Hader. Like, they have a great cast, but
forgot Snoop Dogg was in this. That's amazing.
Plays it, yeah. But yeah, it looks fine. I don't remember seeing the first one either.
You don't know all these MGM animated shows that they do or animated movies.
This was a Braun production too. I was a little surprised by that.
I don't know what the hell. I don't even know what MGM studios or animated studios or whatever the hell they want to call themselves are. But yeah, I guess the first one actually wasn't that bad though from people that watched it. God, Nolan is really crying. He's not happy about something. All right. Well, I might go watch the first one and see this one. Who knows? This one's set to release on October 1st. It's going to hit theaters. I don't think we're going to get it to streaming. That's the way life's going to go in the years to come. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, fine with it. I mean, that's a good October movie.
What do you think of this Transformers War of Cybertron trilogy Kingdom trailer? Holy shit.
Yeah, so I actually preferred the animal Transformer cartoons back in the day to the car ones because I'm not a car guy. Animals are dope. Jaguars, gorillas, all that like rainforest style of Transformers was awesome. The prehistoric stuff too. If they do different eras of the world that they're on, like they do a prehistoric, then they do like a different time, and then they do like a futuristic timeline, I would be all for it with different types of animals. If that's how the trilogy is going to go, but I'm here for it. The animation looked great. Like, what about you? What did you think of the? Are you hyped for this?
You're talking about Beast Wars. You love the Beast Wars shit,
right? Yep.
Beast Wars by far had the best toys that came out for that series.
Absolutely. That's why they were like, the coolest.
You turn the head and it's just a fucking Jaguar. You're like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, this guy's sick. Yeah, I don't. Smithers like the Mustang car head of a fucking stupid Transformer.
Did you used to read those Animorph books?
Yeah, the Animorphs. Yeah, where like one kid can like turn into a hamster or some shit. Like another kid like can do a bird.
It's just like a girl reading like with a backpack, and then her body just starts changing like on the cover as it goes up, and she's just an eagle now. You're just
like, a bat.
Cool.
I'm like, cool. I'm in actually.
One guy was a platypus. I'm just like, oh god, I need this book.
Yeah, absolutely. What does he do? What does he do as a platypus? You know.
What would be the most useless? Dude, Smithers would be a panda. Just transform his ass into a panda.
He'd be a gerbil.
Like leg open panda eating bamboo. All right. Yeah, about this trailer. This is the final installment to this 3-part film series. This is all animated stuff. It's not going to be that live action Transformer crap we've been getting the last 10 years. Debuts on Netflix July 29th. And yeah, it looks fine, I guess. I might check out the previous 2 installments. I don't know.
The previous 2 there's 2 different installments. That was the third one?
Yeah, this is the third and final chapter.
Oh, I thought that was the beginning of the trilogy.
No, this is it.
Full new con.
This is it. You're like, well, I'm done with this.
Yeah, done. I'm not gonna see it.
All right, so let's do it a little bit different. I don't have the sound drops. I feel like we wouldn't be doing it any justice. Let's skip. Do you have a best man? Do you want to do best man? Because I don't.
I have two just poo related ones.
All right, go ahead. Are you talking about Steve-O with the poo cannon?
No.
All right. Steve-O. Have you ever heard of Steve Will Do It? Do you know who that guy is?
No.
All right. Do you know who the Nelk Boys are?
No.
All right. Well, the Nelk Boys are like, I wouldn't call them the jackass. They're huge social media influencers that got enormous on YouTube doing stupid pranks, stupid stunts, all that shit.
Okay.
And they're a bunch of frat bros. So they go to different towns, throw huge parties, all that stuff. And now they like have their own seltzer. Anyways, there's this guy, Steve. They call him Steve Will Do It. And he's like their Steve-O of the group. He does anything. He'll just chug like a whole handle of Fireball and then chug another handle of tequila. Like, no joke. He does some ridiculous shit. And now he's been really successful on YouTube, has his own channel. But point of my story is he just released a YouTube video with Steve-O from Jackass. So both Steves are now together in one video. And there's a point where, dude, it's so gross. They take Steve-O's dog poop and put it in a cannon, and they just blast Steve-O in the side of the face, like on his ear. And he like has to go to the hospital and like get it cleaned out. And dude, it's so stupid.
Oh my God, he got literally shit in his brains.
Yes, Steve-O is still doing that shit sober now. It's crazy to know that. Oh my God.
Yeah, wowzer.
Gross.
Hey, when you're good at something, keep doing it.
Don't do it for free.
Exactly. Yeah. So my poop related stories are a British airline flight was forced to land early because of quote unquote a smelly poo. So imagine being on an airline from Dubai going back home to anywhere, and they had to turn around because a poo was so rancid that it like they had to literally turn around. It was a liquid fecal excrement is what like they actually said over the pilot said over the airs. Unfortunately, the next available flight was 15 hours later, so the passengers had to be put over in a hotel.
Jesus. This was to Dubai, you said?
It was from Dubai, headed from Heathrow to Dubai, which is like a 7-hour flight. So
do you know what airline was it? Was it
British
Emirates?
Airlines. It was British Airlines. Yeah.
Emiratis or whatever the fuck it's called. Emirates.
Yeah, so like they said the issue was because
the poo was smelly.
The poo was smelly, but like there's only like so much air you can get on that like plane. Like the oxygen gets recycled after a while.
They couldn't filter it fast enough. Just
yeah, so it was like, all right,
losing their minds.
You know what? We're turning this thing around. We are not going to deal with this shit for 7 hours. Oh my God. And then my other shit related story was a pub over in York had to close down their first floor because of the biggest turd blockage they've ever had. And it's the Trembling Madness. They had sent out a tweet saying, sorry, the first floor at Lendl wasn't open for a while tonight. No self-isolating or COVID, but just the largest turd blockage we've ever had. It has been removed and we are all clear. Eat your veg. So
I mean, I can relate to the airlines one because I've been there for that. Not necessarily a poo, but it was a fart on a Spirit Airlines trip, and this lady was losing her mind because it was so bad. I told you guys this story.
Yeah.
Where the lady got up, started screaming because the guy wouldn't admit it. She's like, "You know who you are. Stop farting." Just like screaming.
Oh, I feel like
it was bad.
They have like a person that Spirit pays to have on every flight that just like has the worst farts of all time just because it's a passenger experience that they like to have.
Like, you didn't want to upgrade for extra baggage. You're getting farted on.
You're getting in the section of the fart guy.
You didn't want to pick your own seat for an extra $30? Well, now we're sitting you here next to Fartotron. You're fucked.
Exactly. So those are our shit-related stories, and that's because Smithers thinks it should be a shit podcast because he's not on it, which is the opposite.
Yes. We keep it going. We stay true to the Chumpcast.
That's right.
Always talking about poop, pee-pee, farts, good stuff.
Classic.
All right. Do you have any recommendations?
Other than Chivalry and Knockout City, I had one and then I fucking forgot. Do you have one? Let me get back to me.
I do. Kind of.
Oh, I do. I do have one.
Go ahead.
Monsters at Work. It's
I recommended that last week.
Yep. Did you?
Yeah.
Because, dude, I laughed out loud twice, or 6 different times in the 2 different episodes that they came out with. I think it's such a funny, clever, a good show, especially to watch with. If you have kids, they'd probably love it too. But
nice.
They get you with that adult humor. It's actually funny.
That only you would get if you're watching with your kid type thing, where you might laugh and your kid's like, "Wait, how's that funny, Daddy?"
Exactly.
Nice. Well, I recommended it last week. That's fine. 2 weeks in a row recommendation.
Didn't you not? Did it come out last week? You didn't see it?
No, I was recommending everyone stay tuned and watch it when it comes out because it did look funny from the trailer. But now you've confirmed that it is actually funny.
So it's a confirmed recommendation.
Nice. I'm going to recommend a show that I haven't fully watched yet. I watched the first episode. I thought it was kind of cool. Was the Resident Evil Infinite Darkness series or movie? Is it a movie? I think it's a movie maybe that Netflix is doing. It's literally like a video game prologue or whatever you want to call it. Like the beginning to a video game, but it's a movie now. It looks like a video game, but it's an actual
film. It's animated. It's computer generated graphics.
Correct. Actually, I think I'm wrong. It's not a film. It is a series. But if you like the Resident Evil shit, you might want to check it out.
They've had that show or series going for quite some time. Resident Evil Infinite Darkness. Yeah, you're right. It does look just like the games, and it is episodic. There's 4 episodes out.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And what are they? Hour-long episodes or 40 minutes?
That's why I was caught up because it was one of those things where does Netflix ever just start a random show for you and you're like, okay, fine. It started this for me, and I just started watching it. I'm like, I think this is a movie. And I thought maybe they did 4 parts, but I guess it's 4 episodes in a series that they released.
Yeah, 4 episodes. Fear Street Part 2 came out as well. I didn't see it yet, but I did want to complete that trilogy. It looked kind of interesting.
So, geez, no one is not happy. You're going to watch Part 2, I assume. You liked Part 1 enough?
I did, yeah. I'll probably wait. I might wait till Part 3 comes out next week and just kind of watch both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a rush to see it, but
I was watching the first part with Kelly, and I thought it was going to be very campy horror, and I think it is, but the first 20 minutes are actually pretty graphic, and Kelly's like, I'm not into this right now. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, I liked what they ramped it up, honestly, with the gore at the very end as well.
Really?
So, yeah. Did you not finish the first one?
No, we stopped it because Kelly's like, this is a little bit more than I thought it would be. She thought the first 20 minutes were pretty gory. And I'm just like, I mean, a dude is stabbing the shit out of a girl.
It's called Fear Street. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know it was going to be like that. I thought it was going to be more so of just running away and quick little hidden kills, where it just the camera moves away and you just assume that person died.
Right.
It's pretty graphic.
They went for it. Yeah.
All right, let's do this movie review. All right, cool. Movie review is Black Widow.
Woo!
I think we're both kind of on the same page with this. This went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. I came out of the theaters very happy, but to give you guys some background, this is set after the events of Captain America: Civil War. Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow, confronts her darker parts of her past that involves a dangerous conspiracy that ties to, her origins, why she is who she is, kind of thing. We get some new characters brought in, specifically David Harbour as the
Red Guardian.
We have Florence Pugh.
Yelena, her sister, Yelena.
And then, we get to see their mother, who is not their biological mother. If you know their origins, they're orphans that were brought in. But yeah, I thought this was a star-studded cast, and there was chemistry between Florence Pugh's character and Natasha and Black Widow that I love to see. I didn't know how I was going to be bringing in these characters, but it went really well. We have director is Kate. Sorry, I had this pulled up. Kate somebody who we're not familiar with. She's pretty much done a movie that I've never heard of. So a lesser known director, I would say, for Black Widow, which is
Kate Shortland.
Kate Shortland. Any listener that knows another movie that she's done, let us know, because I looked at her IMDb page and I was like, what is this? But that doesn't matter. She did a great job directing this. Obviously, we'll get into what we liked, what some of the things we might have disliked. But Brick, what were your overall thoughts on Black Widow?
I also really enjoyed it. It was a fun movie to go to. They had good comic relief. I thought David Harbour was amazing. I thought Florence Pugh I actually liked her more than I thought I was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, knowing this is a Black Widow movie, I thought that other than the mom, like, she was third. I liked David Harbour, then I liked Florence Pugh, and then I liked Scarlett ScarJo. After that, I thought she was like the third most likable character in the show. But I really found that the score was good. I loved that. Did you like that Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana remake at the very beginning?
Yeah, that was great.
I think that fit perfectly with what they were trying to portray on the screen. They also, I just loved like the family dynamic and the juxtaposition that it had with each one of the characters too.
Mm-hmm.
Like how Red Guardian, like he like really appreciated that his daughters came back and saved him. He like loved that, but at the same time, he also explained like he's like this super soldier and he's got it sent to be a like to Ohio to be like a dad, and he's like, fuck that, I want to be a superhero like Captain America and kick some ass. And so like, but like how each character like takes what he's saying and like feeds it into their own story. It just like worked very well. And then like Natasha, she has like the Avengers family, but they're currently in Civil War and they're split up. And now she's back with her other family that like isn't her family, but like she still like liked the memories because it was like she was so young and she was so influenced by that 3 years, because it was the only 3 years that she actually like enjoyed. And same with her, same with the Yelena. She was her only good memories, because she was brainwashed the whole time, was those 3 years where she had a fake family. And just how they kind of played into that role and the juxtaposition of it all was, I thought, very well done. And they had really good writing as well in this show. Like David Harbour, I thought he was very funny throughout the entire movie. Everything that he had and he said was, I thought, just gold. Makes me want to see Stranger Things even more too when it comes out.
I think overall the levity either hit or it didn't hit with you. I think it's kind of it always is based on the audience. It's based on the viewer. You know, whatever you think is funny to you. I thought there was a lot of the writing I thought was pretty good, because there were a lot of moments that I thought were hilarious. There was a moment where Yelena, Florence Pugh's character, is making fun of Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow, how she, you know, flicks her head back and stalls every time she jumps off something and lands, you know, with
like a poser.
With her arm and all that shit. The action scenes I enjoyed too. I liked how they started this movie off giving you kind of that real origins of, you know, MCU wise, Scarlett Johansson, how Natasha became Black Widow, where she's taken in by Alexei, David Harbour's character, Melina, and has her sister Yelena, not Melina. And they raise them, but ultimately kind of hand them over to this underground, you know, evil society, this Russian society that trains these Black Widows, these girls that are brought up to be killers. I like seeing that origins. I don't think they took enough time explaining it, but didn't go too far into it where you're like, all right, this is enough. You know, I've seen this.
Right.
And yeah, the action scenes in the beginning were cool. It really gets you engaged. There were some parts where I'm like, okay, they're doing the how many times they got to slide down a roof of a building kind of thing, where they're like running on the rooftops and then they slide down conveniently. But overall, yeah, I think there was more things that I liked about this movie than not. So with that said, do we want to? I don't think we should get into spoilers. I think we should talk a little bit more high level about it, some of the things we like, but I don't know if we should spoil this. What do you think?
I don't really think. I mean, what is there to spoil? I guess there's some stuff we can spoil, but doesn't matter. That's fine. I'll say see it.
Okay? I'm gonna say see it as well. I guess I was getting more into like I think there was a big twist at the end that I didn't really see the ending playing out how it did when they get to the red room brick, like how they get to the red room. I didn't see it playing out like that.
Okay, yeah.
That was kind of a nice little twist, but yeah, let's not get into it. I say see it, Brick. You say see it.
Yeah. What did you think of Taskmaster?
That was my one issue. The one thing I didn't like about this movie is you have this. I just feel like it's what Marvel does, and you can say, okay, you're a fucking DC guy, you're just going to hate on it. But I just think the villains are usually weak the way they portray them. They don't give them enough background. They don't give them enough time to develop as like a real fucking intimidating character that brings high stakes. This was a villain that initially I was like, wow, fucking badass. We get the background, we get the origins, cool. And then you get the sense that we're not going to see this villain again. And I don't know if we are. And I just don't like that. I think they should have utilized Taskmaster way more and given us.
Well, it's like I said, is that part of spoilers? It was like Taskmaster, if he or she comes back.
Well, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, yes, the villain is defeated in this movie. I mean, come on.
Right, you knew she was going to survive because it's a prequel.
And this is Scarlett Johansson's last movie as Black Widow, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe, because now they're only doing one movie. Kevin Feige said they're only doing like one movie deals per. They're not like doing multi-movie deals with anybody else.
I could be wrong, but I thought this was their last portrayal because this is right after Civil War. Obviously, if you watch the MCU movies, you know what happens to her.
Yeah. Do they do like a nod to, I was handling family business in Civil War at all to what she says, or no?
They do a couple nods, but that's another thing I liked about it. They stuck to Black Widow. They stuck to, giving us a look into her life. I did not want to see a bunch of Avengers showing up just for a cameo to get people like, just to get some audience credit where people are like, oh God, that's Thor. Yay. For 2 seconds. And then he's gone. But people that just gets usually, fans more happy is when you have cameos, but I just wanted Black Widow, and that's what we got in this.
Agreed. Yeah, no, that was spot on. All Black Widow, but I liked the introduction of obviously the Guardian, or the Red Guardian, and Natasha. So I think the best scene that they had in terms of action sequences was the maximum security prison break avalanche. Obviously, that whole scene was just hectic and like hype, and seeing the Red Guardian do what the Red Guardian does was fucking dope.
So they spend a lot. Go ahead.
No, you go on.
No, to add to that, I was just going to say they spend a lot of money on. Well, they spend a good amount of money on this. I don't know what in comparison to the other MCU movies what it is, but $200 million budget is pretty big, I think, for just a solo movie like this.
Yeah, and box office, they held it out for a year. Yeah.
Box office looks to be globally like it's going to hit 35 million opening weekend, which is pretty good. Is it going to? I'm curious to see how high this is going to go. That's pretty good for right now, but overall, we need that.
What
needs
did F9 get?
It beat F9.
Okay,
I believe.
I thought they had something about that was probably 78 million worldwide. Maybe I thought it was 78 million. I don't know why I got that.
Globally, it still beat F9, which is
good.
That's impressive.
Globally that is impressive, but it's
they put a lot of time into effects you could see, in certain scenes, and that's why I think the action was as good as it was, because they utilized the atmosphere and that with the avalanche scene They had a lot of cool shit happening, which I like to see.
Yeah, and they do some cool nods also in terms of the dialogue that obviously I didn't catch a lot of things, but one thing I did catch was when David Harbour's in jail and he's arm wrestling a bunch of people on this maximum security prison, and one of the guys comes up and he's like kind of talking to everyone else at the table, and he's explaining how he like fought Captain America in the 1980s and like just going into detail of how he kind of escaped when he went into battle and stuff like that. And this big ass guy comes over, he's probably like 6'7", and basically tries to call him out and is like, oh, well, what year was that again? And he's like, yeah, the 1980s, I don't remember, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, well, Captain America was still frozen in the 1980s. But I think that's like, and he's like, oh, you calling me a liar? And then he breaks his fucking wrist like a badass. I think that might be a nod to when Captain America came back after the Infinity Stones, or after he was trying to collect all the Infinity Stones, and then he had a run-in in the 80s with Captain America as he was kind of making his way back into time. So I think that would be cool if they kind of introduced a Red Guardian Captain America. Give me more of a prequel into like the Red Guardian if he did anything prior, because he said before he was in jail he was doing all these escapades. So I would be interested. I just want to see more Red Guardian. Give me more David Harbour. That's all I want.
David Harbour did great as this character. The acting from Florence Pugh and David Harbour was by far some of the best that I've seen in the MCU. I thought Florence Pugh played that character so well. Some people might shit on her accent, but you know, I
loved her in it.
The way she just like teased and, you know, bickered with Natasha, with her sister. It was a great sister
dynamic.
They had a great dynamic. Yes, their chemistry was spot on. It didn't feel, you know, forced at all. But back to David Harbour's character, Red Guardian. It was funny to see him. I felt like he knows that he's not on the level of Captain America, but he wants people to think like, oh, well, I did that, you know, back when Captain America was doing that as well. Like I did just as much as he did. He kind of wants to be compared to him, but I think in the back of his mind, he knows that he's not at that level.
I don't know. He's a super soldier just like Captain America was. I bet you if he thinks that he's just as good, he's got to have some sort of arrogance to him, you know?
Or maybe
that a lot.
Or maybe it is because in this movie, he gets out of jail and it's been what, 10, 15 plus years or whatever it was. So he puts on weight. He's, I guess, out of shape for being a super soldier. It kind of seems like, so maybe he's just maybe he's a little self-conscious. I think that might just be that side of him showing. But yeah, I fucking love this character. I want to see a spin-off with him and Florence Pugh's character as well. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be incredible. And that is all I want, is to see more Red Guardian and Florence Pugh. And I think in the end credit scene, I think we will get more of that. Hopefully this movie does even better than we want it to, so that we can get more of it. But I mean, they're not running low on cash anyway, so I could see a TV show coming out with them or something along those lines. Give me more of it though. That's all I'm asking for. Great characters.
So back to Taskmaster. What did you like about the villain, Brick? Because I'm curious.
I thought the character looked cool, and I felt like they introduced the character well, and it was badass. And how they tied it in, I was fine with. I didn't really have any problems with it at all. But I would have liked maybe a better reveal of Taskmaster.
Okay. I would have liked a better standoff. We get a scene at the end that's pretty cool where they're flying through the air.
Right.
But the movie was pretty long. The movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes or whatever. And I was getting ready for it to end. And I just felt like they kind of pushed it a little bit too quick, in my opinion. I was waiting for the build up, you know, the big standoff. And we kind of got that, but we kind of didn't. And that was my problem. I wanted to see more of Taskmaster. This is a villain that is at the same level, if not maybe even a little above Natasha's character in some aspects to fighting.
Well, no, I would say they showed that Taskmaster was above her fighting level. That's why they couldn't per se have a big 1v1 standoff, because like look at what Taskmaster did to the Red Guardian, who is a super soldier, and he took like they mimicked the moves of all the Avengers. Like they had the shield, they had the Black Panther claws, they had like Natasha's fighting style down, like
Hawkeye's bow and arrow accuracy was on point.
Arrow. Yeah, and so they had all the she's fighting the Avengers basically because of all the moves that they can mimic, and they had all the weaponry and all the gadgets and everything. And I think they're setting it up for potentially the villain to kind of come back and either help or hurt. We don't even know at this point.
Without spoiling it, Brick, my one problem with you saying the villain is going to come back is the very ending, how the villain is no longer the villain. I'll leave it at that. I don't get how the villain's going to come back with what happens at the end. I'll stop there. I don't want to get into spoilers. Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I think there technically still is a gripe to be settled, though.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. I feel like the last dialogue that we got with them at the end was kind of like forgiveness. Maybe not. We'll
Perhaps,
see.
But that just you gotta let it settle in because of everything that just kind of transpired. So maybe they could still unfold some of the storyline, and we'll see if they bring the character back or not. I don't know. That's a good. I mean, they might. They like to. That's just the Marvel universe. They bring everybody back and forth and whatever. So we'll see how they kind of use this character.
Yep. But also, if this is Black Widow's last movie, within the continuity of MCU films, who's Taskmaster? If the beef is with Black Widow, which it was, who's it going to be with later on in these movies? If Taskmaster comes back. But yes, loving the utilization of the weapons. That's why I think this was a great villain. I just would have liked to see a little bit more. And I hope we do get more. But that's yet to be seen.
And with the multiverse, who's to say the Black Widow isn't going to come back for another movie?
Yeah.
Sorry, there is probably another universe where if this shit gets exploded by Loki, that there's a timeline where Black Widow doesn't have to kill herself. Maybe it's Hawkeye that kills himself. So we'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, that was our Black Widow review. I would say, Brick, wouldn't you agree? We both had a great time watching this. I would recommend seeing it in IMAX if you're going to go watch it.
I also saw it in IMAX. The theater was actually pretty well packed when I went, and it was a great theater experience. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's having a good time. So this is definitely a good theater experience movie. Definitely see it.
Yeah. And they also have it in 3D, which I was surprised. I thought they stopped making 3D movies.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot about that. But IMAX is the play.
Yeah, IMAX is definitely the play. All right. Well, that has been episode 253. Want to thank you guys all for listening, for watching. If you want to find us, you can literally check us out on all social media platforms at the Chumpcast. You can call or text us at 847-920-6107. Rick, you got anything else to say?
Ciao. Aloha. Mahalo.
Ciao, peace. Bella. Till next time, guys. Chumps out, motherfuckers. Peace.
Merry Christmas.
Dude, I can't believe Taskmaster was a Skrull. Wasn't even a human, was an alien the whole time.
Wow. Spoiler out the ass. If anyone stayed, I apologize on Mark's behalf.
Thanos just lost 182 pounds and got fitted into that suit. It's badass.